the second video in the series on time in music, and in the last video, the first of the series, I talked about the concept of beat existing in a sense behind the music, and the concept of music being played either on the beat or off the beat. That mostly in Western music tradition we are dealing with events that occur on the beat, with the beat, or events that occur off the beat, in a sense in between the beat. So today I want to unpack that a little bit further. I want to make an observation about Western music in terms of the beat, and more importantly perhaps in terms of what lies even behind the beat. So in the Western tradition we find that most music certainly has a beat, but that if we were to probe just a little bit deeper, we would find that behind that beat there is a natural feeling of further division into either two equal parts, which we would call simple beat, or into three equal parts, which we would call compound beat. Now, to illustrate that, I really need to get into a couple of examples so that you can really feel the beat and feel and hear the division of the beat. We'll get to that in a moment. Just before I give you those examples, I want to just stress that we are talking here about what we call simple beat and what we call compound beat, or simple time and compound time, and not simple and complex. These are not opposites. We're not talking about something being relatively simple or more complicated and therefore more complex. They're not opposites. They're just two different ways to understand the idea and concept of beat. Whether or not that beat naturally divides into two equal parts, or whether it naturally divides into three equal parts, being simple or compound. Now, in order to illustrate this, as I say, and like most examples in music, this is ultimately best illustrated than verbally described. So to illustrate this, I'm going to use two American folk tunes. I'm going to use Yankee Doodle and When Johnny Comes Marching Home. If you don't know those tunes, stop the video now, go out to YouTube or to Google and Google those two names, Google Yankee Doodle and When Johnny Comes Marching Home, and get to know the tunes. Get those in your head, because this is going to make absolutely no sense if you don't even know the tune. Once you know the tunes, come back, pick up the video and watch the rest of it, and hopefully this will make sense. So, Yankee Doodle, as we know, goes like this. La 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 la. And one would assume that if I asked you to find me the beat for Yankee Doodle, that eventually you would land on this as your beat. La 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 la. And indeed, this would be the beat. But the concept I want to get across today is that yes, while that is the beat, that most music has a natural further division of the beat lying behind it. So in the case of Yankee Doodle, now I will sing it with the beat being clicked in my fingers, but the division of the beat being said in my voice. So I will sing the notes, but I will say the division of the beat. The division of the beat will be said ta 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 ta, so that you can hear two elements to each beat. So for every time I click my finger, you should hear me say ta ta as I sing the melody. This is how it will go. Ta 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 ta. Hopefully there you were able to see and hear that behind every beat there were two divisions of the beat. Now, you might say, well, those were just notes of the melody. Yes, certainly. If you were to go through Yankee Doodle, there are many times when the division of the beat is in fact the melody that you sing. The fact that you sing two notes to every one beat. But I think you would also find, if you go through the entire melody, and try doing it, try clicking the beat and singing the melody, and singing the division of the beat. If you were to sing that, you would find there would be times when there would be notes that would be held for at least a whole beat, maybe even for two beats. But that you would say behind those held notes the division of the beat, ta 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 ta. So the beat may result in you saying ta 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 ta, or may result in you going ta ta like that for the melody, but the division of the beat being ta 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 ta, if you see what I mean, lying behind the beat. If you have the concept there of simple division, simply meaning that you find the beat in a piece of music, but you then hear that just behind that beat there is a natural division into two equal parts, then that is the concept of simple time. That would be contrasted with compound time. Compound time, you have the same concept, but this time behind the beat will feel and hear a division into three. So for this, we'll use When Johnny Comes Marching Home Again. The melody is da 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 da, and if I were to go ahead and add the beat, it would be like this: la 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 la, and there's the beat. Now, in the top of that, on the surface of that, we have the melody. But I'm hoping to illustrate to you that behind that beat, we have a much more natural feel of three parts than two parts. We have a division much more naturally into three equal parts than we do into two equal parts. So to illustrate this, I'll say ta-ta-ti, right? Ta-ta-ti. So there'll be three divisions as I sing the melody, and I'll click the beat. So here's the beat. Here's the melody with the divisions. La ta ta ti ta ta ti ta ta ti ta ta ti ta 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 ti ti ta ta ti ta ta ti ta ta ta. And now I'm getting confused, so I'll try and do that again for you. La ta ta ti 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 ta ta ti. Get the idea? Ta ta ti ta ta ti. Well, the beat is occurring continuously. Behind that beat, ta ta ti, three equal parts. Now you will find there are many, many melodies, particularly if you go and look at folk tunes and folk melodies, you will find many melodies that have this feel of simple or compound time, that they most naturally seem to divide, each beat seems to naturally divide into either two or three. And you need to kind of get used to feeling that. So your assignment for this week is, having understood the concept that there is a beat on the surface, but that behind that beat you may feel a division of two for simple time or a division of three for compound time. Once you have that concept in your mind, go out and listen to as much music as you can. Find the beat and then try and find the division of the beat. See if you can begin to sense whether or not you have indeed a simple division of a beat or a compound division of a beat. And you can find this in classical music, you will find it in rock and pop music, in jazz music. It is very prevalent, this whole concept is prevalent. Most of the music you are going to encounter is going to fall into either one of these two categories. It will have a beat, and it will either you will find that that beat is either simple or compound. So your job is to A, understand the concept, B, go and track down as much music as you can and start to identify it and be able to label it as either a simple or a compound division of the beat.